Hey guys, what's up? I know I initially said it would be a week or two before I did a review on the Shine, but as it turns out, I really don't like it very much, and so it's unfortunately going to go back to the store today. It's not something I want to keep. I guess I would talk about a couple of the good things and then all the bad things. First off, the app is decent. You can download the app and take a look at it before buying it. It works okay. It's not quite as polished as, say, a Jawbone app or a Fitbit app, but it's a decent app. The second thing is I felt like the sleep monitoring was the most accurate of all the fitness things, or fitness bracelets that I've tried that do sleep monitoring. It pretty much actually showed the times when I was awake, and I felt like it gave the most accurate representation of what my actual sleeping habits are. Really, the only thing I really liked about it was the sleep tracking, and for $100, it's just not worth it to keep it for sleep tracking. So now, kind of all the things I don't like about it. First off are the LED lights. They're really hard to see. If you're indoors, they're very simple to see, but if you're outside at all and there's any sunlight at all and you actually want to use this as a watch, they're pretty much impossible to see. They're just not bright enough, or they're too small. I'm not really sure, but they don't work, and counting on using this as a watch isn't going to be a really good option if you're outside. The next thing I don't like about it is how it actually tracks your activity. It doesn't seem to do a very good job of it at all. The second day that I had this, I decided to go run a few miles with it and just kind of see, what it did as far as, say, something like the Apple Watch or Fitbit, what it would say that I've done. And I ran, like I say, a couple miles, and it said I took 162 steps for the whole day. I'm pretty sure I take more than 162 steps just walking around in my house each day, much less however many steps are in a mile. So it wasn't even close. The next day, I was watching my steps very closely, and it was monitoring them a little bit better. I was like, great, here we go. Don't know what was happening, but now it's working. At one point, I saw that it said I took, like 4,000 or 5,000 steps throughout the day. I synced it today and looked at it, and now it says I took 3,000 steps that day. So I guess it changed its mind. And I also did some running that day too. Not a lot of running, but a lot of activity. And regardless, at one point it said a higher number and then it said a lower number. I have no idea how that even happens. The next thing is this band. Even with the activity clip, this thing does not stay in the band very well at all. I've had the Misfit Shine for, 4 days or whatever, and it's popped out probably 4 times. It just popped out on me now, and I'm tired of this thing popping out and the possibility of losing $100. This clip, if it actually clipped into it with the tabs and it held it, that would be one thing, but as soon as you turn it over, it's just gonna fall out. This right here really doesn't do much at all. And the odds of probably keeping this, if you're doing high intensity activity, you're gonna lose it basically. I had this fall out twice while I was changing clothes and once in my sleep. So that just seems pretty unreasonable to me. The band design could be so much better. Honestly, if this thing stayed in the band, my interest level in keeping it would be so much higher. I could work through some of the other kinks, wait for some updates, but risking losing $100 of my money, I can't wait for that to happen. And that's what's ultimately gonna happen with this, is I'm gonna lose it. Also, if you decide to use the Link app, you're gonna see this thing lighting up with blue lights all the time, like it's syncing, and it's trying to talk to the Link app and stay linked to your phone. That's what's happening if you're having this problem. I have no idea how that's gonna affect the long-term battery life and if you're gonna be able to come close to getting 6 months out of this thing if you're using the Link app, because all the time I look down and this had blue lights flashing everywhere. Something that a lot of people want out of these fitness trackers is the sleep monitoring, and then in this case probably the alarm, the silent alarm. The vibration motor in this is extremely weak. My Fitbit Flex, the vibration motor in it is way stronger and it works way better. This right here, unless I set the timer and watched and wait for it to come on, I had no idea that it was even going off. If you're gonna use this as your alarm, assuming you don't lose it in your sleep, the odds of it waking you up, and I'm a pretty light sleeper, are slim to none. It's most likely not gonna do it. And the move reminder, that's also something that, it's gonna rely on the vibration motor. Half the time I had it set to, remind me to move, and it didn't happen. My call notifications when my phone rang, nothing happened, like no lights came on, that my phone was ringing or that I had an incoming call. That's probably a software thing and something they could fix a little bit longer down the line. But the fact that I'm not even going to feel the call coming through, it's pretty much pointless. These are the main reasons I'm not going to keep it. Like I say, number one being that even if I decide to keep this and I don't return it, the odds of me actually keeping it and not losing it are really, really low. I read a lot of people lost the first generation one, and I see why now. So for me, this was a huge letdown. Let me know if you got one and how it's working out for you. Post a comment below. Also, if you have any other questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer any of them. As far as it being waterproof, it's definitely waterproof and did really well with that. The force of actually swimming a stroke, I have my doubts that it would actually stay in the band and you would come out of the pool with it. But if you do swim with it, like say, let me know how it works out for you. I'd be really curious to know how it holds in the band, and I'm sure some other viewers would as well. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more reviews and more unboxings. Thanks.